Well, come, SASANS!
Oh, it really sounds like it.
To this week's episode of SASANS and Dragons. I am Magnus Beasticus, your dungeon master for the evening. Joining me as Oren's Obliterate on this adventure. To my left, your right.
I'm Luna, and I play Sunky Beerbot, a level 8 female mountain dwarf druid.
I'm ENZER. I play a male gray dwarf, Duergar, sorcerer, level 8, named Timarius, or Tim for short.
Maximus, Herchek Bane, Dominus, level 8, barbarian of the Storm Herald, Goliath.
Is that it? I think it is.
Of the Death Domain.
Good evening. Remember they were living here, playing Valkyrie Victoria, male fallen Asmar, cleric, level 8.
Of the Storm Herald.
When last we left Oren's Obliterate, they had ventured inside of the massive, giant severed tree and rescued their companion Kunbara. And then successfully, albeit narrowly, navigated a field of wailing, grabbing hands as well as a guardian giant reaper. They did not slay the reaper. The reaper is still in his domain, protecting his little region of this tree. They had made it out past this field of hands into a vast chamber where you could not see on any side of it. Blackness lies in front of them. Well, blackness lies 120 feet in front of Tim.
I think Spotlight Giant is a better name.
The Spotlight Giant casting his sickening blue light on our, I was about to say heroes, but we all know that's not true, adventurers. So, this is where you find yourselves now, huffing and puffing and blowing your constitution down. I don't know. So this is where you find yourselves now. Kunbara's sort of abdomen, her chest armor is almost falling off as how beaten and bloody she's been. Blood just like smears on her right side of her lip that she's from her wiping away the blood that exploded out of her mouth after being sliced by the giant. Jurg and Quenzel still keeping pace with you all. Vark here, also looking pretty beaten up. As blackness.
I don't think am I standing or am I just dead?
You're standing. You were brought back alive, and just narrowly escaped the Spotlight Giant.
Dead man walking.
Man, you can see, you can hear the sort of reverberations in the wooden plane beneath you from the Spotlight Giant sort of meandering back and forth along the line of hands, just looking at you all, just waiting, pacing, that sickening breath.
I sit down.
Also hear.
I take a
Stick my
I take a
finger in
short
my belly
rest.
button. Start licking my lips.
Gross.
Get in there.
The giant turns away and actually starts sprinting. He takes his scythe and he just starts jamming it into his eyes.
Can I do an investigation check in this area that we are?
Sure. What are you looking for?
What's in this room? We're just in a black room.
Okay, go for it.
11.
It's especially with no dark vision or any sort of light to help light your
They're
way.
the braziers.
The braziers you have noticed have stopped. Braziers. They're no longer supporting your boobies.
Or are they?
What? Okay.
It's,
What?
We know.
Okay.
Can anyone see what's in this room? Where are we? How are we looking?
I'd like to look around. I got superior dark vision.
Roll a perception check.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh,
That looks,
Wait,
that looks
It's a little. It's a little
It's actually
cocked.
not cocked.
It's a little.
It's not cocked. No.
Well, I rolled a 1. Natural type.
It's a good thing
Um,
other people are in the party that had party.
You hear Tim go, I know exactly where we are. And you can see him just like the mass of Lion's mane hair in his face and like covering his entire eyes as he's sort of putting his arms on his hips, looking around. And he clearly has no idea.
Are we in a hallway right now? We're at the break? Or are we just in a room?
You are in a vast chamber. Like you can't see either ends of the chamber in front of you. Behind you is just the hand of the field of hands, and in front of you is like no matter how hard you try and look or discern any shapes, it's just blackness after your dark vision ends.
But we're not like being attacked or nothing's threatening us. We're just
There's
sitting
nothing's threatening you other than the sounds of the sort of looming giant behind you.
there. Is he coming closer to us, or is he just
No,
sitting
he's
there?
not. It's almost like there's this sort of unseen barrier keeping him where he is.
Okay, then I guess Valkyrie is just gonna take a knee, and he's gonna take 10 minutes to do a prayer of healing.
Oh, okay. Is this a ritual spell?
No, it's just a spell. It just takes 10 minutes to do it. So I'm just like doing it now. 10 minutes.
Um,
I guess yeah. I'm gonna cast it to take 10 minutes. So I'm gonna cast it for 10 minutes at the 3rd level.
Okay. You guys are all taking 10 minutes. Is there anything else that you want to do in this 10 minutes?
Yeah. Can I reach into my pocket and take out a little bit of fur? And then I'm going to cast Locate Animals or Plants.
Okay.
I'm just going to take the fur and, like, you're just going to see.
Locate animals or plants?
But specifically Nosha.
Oh, so are you locating are you locating object right now?
It says Locate Animals or Plants.
Oh, okay. So you're looking for Nosha.
Yeah.
So everybody gets 14
says-
health back.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
now I'm at full health.
Or am
I think we're all at full health now.
Yeah. Okay. You get almost this brilliant beacon, this sense throughout your body. You're almost moved physically by the proximity and sort of essence coming off of the Nosha that you're trying to sense, and it takes you aback. You're almost overwhelmed by what you're feeling currently, because it is within your presence. You're getting this feeling. It's like if you have eagle vision from Assassin's Creed, you're getting this brilliant gold shine from Yerg.
From Yerg,
From Yerg.
I'm going to approach Yerg.
Okay.
What can I pay you to get the piece of Nosha that you have? I know you have it.
You must understand. I'm sorry that I lied to you. But this is not something that I can give up.
Why?
It's nothing that I can give to you.
Why?
Just let me see.
It is the most precious item I will ever own in my life. Please trust
Our
that.
kingdom will
can I
fall.
We are on our way to Ildfell.
I
Can I
take
hear
out
this?
my axe
You can. Everybody can.
So can I?
and I
just
start
show
walking
it to
towards
me.
Yerg.
I just want to say, just show me
Like-
the Nosha. I just need to see it. That's all I need to do.
Where'd
We-
you get it from? And is there more?
I guess somebody roll a persuasion check at advantage.
I'm gonna look at him.
Wait,
And give him the
wait.
crazy-
Wait,
he starts,
wait,
he
I
starts
should do this.
Slowly backing up as he's looking at you all.
I just want to see it. We're not going to take it. I just need to see it in order to find it.
$27.
Oh,
Wait, 26. Sorry.
I've been lucky enough to find individuals in which I trust.
And he sort of undoes his tightly bound cloak, and he pulls out. And you can actually see, like, when he loosens his cloak, there's this almost like, you know how water reflects against the walls? Just sort of like this constant moving light. You can see that on the inside of his cloak. And cascading along his green dragon scales. And he pulls out this, what looks like a quadruple helix. Almost like a perfectly clean-cut quadruple helix of lightly glowing plant matter.
Wow.
And each helix is sort of slowly shifting from one color to the next. And along the line of this helix, there are leaves and petals just appearing and then disappearing and then appearing and then disappearing in different portions of it. And he says,
The person that I grew the closest with throughout my adventures, their soul rests in this plant. Before she died, it was the last thing I could do to save Lyrinus. She wanted to see Ildfell more than anyone. And this is the only object strong enough to be able to contain her spirit.
So you
Please
plan
let
on
me reunite.
transplanting her soul into an actual human form when you get to Ildfell?
I plan on releasing her soul. Souls are not so fragile that you can just move them at will. After this vessel, it will be her last chance at salvation.
We did meet an alchemist on our way here. Maybe he could transfer the soul to something else. We could have the Nosha.
He was very powerful.
Alchemists do not deal with spiritual matters. From matter to matter.
Maybe he does.
and you, even in her weakened state, she sort of like shoves past people, and she grabs his hand, and she goes,
Millions of lives are at stake here.
I'm with Kunbara. I'm holding my axe in my hand, and I'm like, yeah.
Right now, this is the only Nosha that we've ever seen. If we can find more, we don't need your Nosha. You can keep your soul, your friend's soul, in this Nosha. Where'd you get it? Is there more?
It is what the
Have to wait
Goliath
till we're outside.
that ended up betraying us all provided us to give us proof that he knew where Ildfell was. It was one of the only pieces of evidence that we could go off of.
That's fine. I've seen it now. I just need to get outside to where I can locate it.
and Kunbara goes,
If we don't find Ildfell in the next 24 hours, if you don't give this up willingly, I will have to take it by force.
Urchin grunts.
and she sort of gives you like a when the time comes look, and she looks at all of you.
I'm gonna take out my hand axe and like.
I don't want to have to do it, but I'm with them.
It's okay. Varkir here can just bring you back. No worries.
I'm out of spells, and Quenzel, you die often. So.
Yeah.
You would save it for me. Never mind. Sorry, Yerg. And Yerg goes,
Then we better increase our pace.
and he sort of like mildly aggressively rips his forearm from Kunbara and slowly puts the Nosha back in while looking at all of you.
I'm making a mental note where he's putting it.
I will owe you all my life after this is done. But until then, I'm counting on you.
Well, we need to rest. I'm pretty hurt. Kunbara is bleeding. I think while we're in a safe-ish location and that creature is at bay, we should just sit here.
Can I do a perception check to see if it's safe?
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Yes, you can do a perception check.
$16.
You can see sort of off. What's your dark vision?
I feel like it's 60.
Should savor your senses.
I think it's 60. If you do have dark vision as a dwarf, I think it is 60. You can see the slight
It's right underneath your saving throws.
at the very
No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. 60.
at the very edge of your perception as you're scanning across this vast chamber. You can barely make out sort of small silhouettes revealed by just a tiny little ember of pale blue light, revealing some of their silhouette. Like you can see the edges of people of like frozen figures forms, maybe about like 2 at this distance.
And they're frozen? They're not moving?
They're just not moving. Yeah.
Do I feel like it's threatening, or am I just like, well, that's interesting?
You keep your eyes on it for a second. I imagine a small spike of anxiety hits you when you see sort of a familiar blue light casting a silhouette across forms again. But the more you analyze it, the more you see that nothing is actually moving in the distance.
Okay.
There's no shifting, there's no anything like that.
Well, let's turn around and be like, we can probably afford a short rest.
I thought we were just told to pick up the pace in order to basically save the kingdom.
Yes.
At this point, though, if we run into any more obstacles, we may all perish if we don't catch our breaths now. You never know when initiative could come at you.
You could break
What,
through a short rest.
So I'd like to thank Varkir. Thank you, Varkir. The healing feels great. Shimmer in my beard again. I'm gonna basically try and surmise whether the breathing that we all felt and heard was coming from the spotlight giant behind us or some other source.
That was my fault for not explaining that. That is still present in this chamber.
Right. From behind us, or so in this chamber that
It'd
we're
be
in right
clear,
now.
like
in
you would
front
have to
of
roll a
us?
perception check to know that it is coming from in front of you.
Does
It now
this feel
feels
much
like
closer?
actually roll a perception check.
I already rolled a
Gotcha.
1, but
This is I will say if you agree, a short rest was taken while he was casting his spell. Continuing after that with the conversation with Kunbara, and currently you're like in the middle of a short rest, so
wow.
Oh, okay.
enough
Okay.
time has happened.
So I can click this.
What did yes?
Yay!
D&D Beyond. So you rolled a 12. What's your total perception for the roll? For the roll.
14 total. What does a short rest do? Like I don't think it changed anything for me.
You can hear
You can roll your hit die.
honing in on. Oh yeah. By the way, yes, short rest. You can use your hit dice to. You can roll your hit dice to get health back. It is the equivalent of your level. Is how many hit dice that you have. So you have 8 hit dice. It's your constitution. It's what you roll for health every time you level up.
So I can roll one of those.
You can roll however many you want. You'll just every time you take a long rest, you gain half of them back. So right now you would gain 4 back.
It's like whatever plus your constitution modifier.
I roll 48. Or do
On
you-
mine it said 1d8 plus 4.
Yeah, your constitution's +4. Then.
Is it +4 for every
No, mine's 1 because my Constitution's only +1.
Yeah, it is. For every roll, you add your +4, or at least we'll do that in the home campaign. Tim, as you're figuring out how to sort of jolt health back into you, you do hear the breathing. It is still present. It's almost as though every time one of the exhalations, whenever you hear one of the exhalations, it's almost like you feel this invisible wave course through your body. And it's like, and just like your bones start to vibrate ever so slightly as this. Everybody, this is the feeling across the party, and as you listen, it sounds like it is the same breath coming from 2 different locations. So it's like on exactly the left side and exactly the right side.
Saves and senses, the last one.
It's almost like you're hearing the same noise twice, if that makes sense. Like there's maybe a better way to describe this is there's an absence of the sound coming from directly in front of you.
So what I hear is breathing come from 2 sources, but it's the same breathing.
It's at least synchronized, yes.
Oh.
So therefore, maybe we should go down the center, since it's not coming from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They have to roll those though.
I don't know. Do I need to pass this on, or does everybody kind of get that?
Roll 4d10,
you would
4d12s.
You rolled a perception check to find it. That was like to discern that it was coming from 2 different locations. Everybody else you'd have to explain to.
Oh, okay.
During this short rest, you can hear Kunbara sort of muttering to herself. You can hear a lot of sort of like prayers to Corellin, prayers to Lechantier, who you haven't heard before, prayers to her father, or Triandal. And as she's muttering these words, sort of her hair starts to like, as though wind was passing through, her body starts to sort of shine a little bit. And you can see her scars heal up. You can see the blood just disappear. You can see like a lot of her fatigue just be eliminated during this time.
Wow.
What is she?
If you look at...
she's a paladin. But she just rolled really well in her hit dice.
What level is she?
Keep trying, Luna.
Tim has noticeably more dirt, like packed into his, like rubbed into his wounds.
The traditional healing salve of the cave people.
Yes.
Saliva and dirt.
I'm taking notes from Tim.
Is that how you heal, Tim?
Oh yeah.
Feeling better?
Yeah,
I
you lay down
I
your-
rub some dirt on myself into the wound.
Yeah,
The
spit
wound
it.
on my
Oh
arm now.
no.
Roll
Spin
a
it.
Constitution saving.
Mark looks at you with a little disappointment, thinking you were smarter than that.
A lot.
19.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It actually healed you a little
Roll a
bit.
D4. I'm sorry. That's too much. You just gain 1 point of health back.
Bullshit.
Vark,
I
you're
rolled a
gonna-
2.
Can Varkir go over
Give
to
me
him
the
and
2,
like,
damn it.
do a medicine check to see if he's not getting infected? 'Cause that would be bad if-
Absolutely,
if the
yes.
top-
Absolutely.
If the top damager got infected and died, that would be
Barkir
bad.
squints his eyes looking at Tim, and then those eyes sort of move over to her check, emulating Tim, or trying to learn from Tim, and he goes, that
that's
really shouldn't work.
That's an 18.
These are advanced medicine practices.
An 18 for a medicine check. I go and I clean her check's wound out, and I'm like, don't do that again.
These light hands just scoop all of the dirt off of your wounds and put some sort of herbs and healing salves over it.
Herbs.
Herbs.
Check herbs.
Brazzers, brazers.
Brazzers all over me.
You're not a Duergar.
Oh, I healed. There's brazzers all over the ceiling.
I get healed more?
You're not a Duergar. Don't.
With an 18
Don't
check,
do that.
medicine check, yeah, roll a d4. Here.
Oh, another D4.
No, just this one is the only one that
4!
counts. Hey, 4. Wow, yeah.
Dang.
Heal 4 more points.
Tim, dirt is a good idea,
Right?
right? I like it a lot.
Funky's gonna
I won't
roll
help you
her
again if you
eyes.
do dirt again.
Yeah, Varkir just shakes his head while walking away. Okay, so you guys have approached the end of your short rest. You guys are all. What is your new
VPN.
health?
I'm looking pretty good.
New health.
I'm looking pretty good. That's what my health is at.
30.
Way higher.
Huh?
Looking pretty good.
Did you just
Wow.
roll all of your hit dice?
I rolled 4 hit dice.
Plus your constitution is probably quite a bit. Okay, then we'll just forgo that. Okay, so what are you guys doing? As I'm not sure you've communicated it, but so what's just
Oh yeah. You guys pay real close attention. I had to put my ear to the ground. You may not do that, but anyway, I hear a breathing coming from that direction, and that direction, but not this direction. So I think we should head in this direction, which is that way.
I'm for that.
Which
plan.
is that. Oh, that way. That's a good
Yeah,
way
just
to
look at the
okay,
direction
yeah,
I'm pointing at.
Yeah, okay. Going that way. Tim, I will need you to go first, but I will be right behind you.
That's not how this works. You go first. I go behind you.
Yeah. Her check's confused, but agrees.
It was your idea. Trust me.
Yeah. All right, I am heading in the direction that he pointed to,
Don't worry, I got your back.
and he's
I'm gonna-
on my back.
Oh no, I got your back.
He's got my back.
But my
He is
hand
on
is
my
on your
back.
back.
How are you reaching up that high?
Your butt?
Are you still giant?
Oh,
Oh, how long does that last?
That's a good question.
As we're walking, could I pick up a rock? Like a hand-sized rock, like that big.
It's impossible.
Do an investigation check. This ground is made out of wood. You're inside of a tree. Just everything has been sort
I
of
guess
carved out.
Anything that
There's-
that can fit in the palm of my hand, pretty much.
Okay.
No, I'm not a giant. It only lasts for 1 minute.
So you're like touching my butt? So no.
No, you can't quite find anything that. You find like what you think is a rock, and then as soon as you go to grab it, it's like really wet and cold putty in your hands, and you lift it up and you realize it's like some thrown away flesh.
I just go, Varkir, what are you looking for?
A rock or some object that can fit in my hand that I can throw far away.
Like a piece of wood that could be a torch? Put your dick in his hand.
That'd be
It's
not
that big.
not that big. I need to be able to throw it far.
I can't throw my dick. I will assist him in looking.
Okay.
I can get you a rock.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
I can't.
Both of them are like shoulder to shoulder with their hands on their forehead, like where I swear I could have seen something somewhere.
I'm gonna use my
locate
dwarven
objects.
stone cutting
I
to
have to wait for
just
that.
look at the ground and try and.
But there are no rocks.
But he's from a
I'm gonna start digging.
I said just something
my
that can fit in
gosh.
the palm of my
Stone
hand.
cunning. Roll an investigation check at advantage.
Maybe I'll find
Yeah, but he has stone cunning.
But I helped.
The most arbitrary
Maybe.
skill ever written.
I think he
It's called
found
cave mastery.
What'd you roll?
Depends on what I add to it, but 16.
I thought I was in my head. I was like 60 because you're from a cave.
Oh yeah, there's like a rock made out of the same material that the murals were depicted on around you. It's like it almost seems like a shard that was broken out off of one of the pieces. You actually look like just to the right of Herchek and Varkir, and there's like a pile of rocks.
it.
Ah,
Where
See?
did those come from?
long line of cave people. Only we see big piles of rocks.
So
Big
I'd like
obvious
to
piles
pick
of
up one of the rocks, and I'm gonna ask him, but like, would it be a? I'm gonna create light.
Maybe not.
Throw it in the center though,
Great idea.
like a light away from us.
You and light. Oh,
we
boy.
could use it as like
Like I
A s-
throw it,
a
it lights
stick
up really
that would
bright, and
glow.
it's gonna go.
you know to.
You and light.
It's gonna be like, whoop, doo.
Only because it looks cool. Do it.
I'll
All right, so I hand it to her check, and I'm like, toss this as far as you can. And when it gets like 15 feet away, I'm gonna cast light on it.
I will recklessly throw it.
Whoa, what?
Okay.
I'm gonna prepare a firebolt.
All attacks
Oh,
are
that's
at
a good thing.
advantage in
That's
the
good.
next.
Good thing. Wow. A 1 and then a 2.
Oh man.
So a 3.
Just falls at our feet.
Yeah, it really did. Like
Okay.
historically, Herchek hasn't been super successful at these checks. The last time he did this, he actually
God damn it.
incurred the wrath of the
Oh,
what was it?
no.
The spotlight giant.
I was kind of hoping you
The
were gonna
scythe
stop.
giant. And yeah,
That was a
as he
football
reels his
player.
hand back, you all sort of remember this, and you go, "Oh man!" And as you open your eyes from the like remembered embarrassment, there's just this huge light just
God
shining
damn
brightly around you all.
Oh no! I
That
said
is-
once it gets 15 feet away, I'm gonna cast it.
Okay, well, it didn't even make it that far.
so he
I'm not
doesn't cast
casting it.
Okay,
Like
your arm just sort of like goes down to your side as you fall. to the
You
rock.
see
You're like-
Herchek just go, it's the battle. I tore something.
It's like even the sound of it hitting the ground is kind of just like kick it away.
It's not what I was envisioning, but moving on.
You want to throw it? It was quite heavy.
Funky's gonna walk
here.
forward.
Oh, all right.
Maybe you could do
With
a cool
her-
vine whip thing.
What?
Like attach it to a vine whip. Just whip it.
I think we should just move.
Whip it real
I
good.
think we're spending a lot of time. We need to move.
We will move on. So
I agree.
Yeah, I have my axe in my hand.
Okay, so are you guys going center, left, right?
Center.
pick
I pick up that
Backwards,
rock, though.
center.
Center.
I pick up the rock.
My firebolt's still prepared.
Holding firebolt. Okay. Tim, you actually what's your passive?
12.
You finally clear the main out from your vision. It's just sort of like that bowl cut end right at your nose. And then you just sort of like wipe it away, a bunch of dirt keeping it to the right side of your head. And you can see clearly as your dark vision extends far beyond that of your entire party. You can see many different figures in front of you.
Whoa.
None of them actually moving. Roll a perception check.
As I'm piercing out, I would like to tie my beard up in a man bun.
Tie the mane up in a man bun.
Wow.
Fuck. 9, 11.
It looks like many different figures just frozen in front of you, and that's about it.
I see some scary figures up.
None of them from your 11, you could tell that none of them are giant-sized. But there is a wall in front of them, arcing outwards, arcing to like
Away from us?
no towards you, towards like the left and right. So it's like a circle is starting at this wall, and you would be inside of the circle. Does that make sense?
Is the circle complete? Like towards the center?
No, sorry, that was just an analogy to explain sort of the angle at which you're inside of the bow. You're not outside of the bow.
Okay. But so
That's all you can see.
Can I
The
discern what
angles are
the-
arcing towards you. Sorry, the wall is arcing towards you, and then your dark vision doesn't extend that far.
and the frozen people are on what side of the wall?
So you see like your dark vision doesn't clear the entirety of this wall. And these figures are in front of the wall, in between you and the wall.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace on all of this again.
Okay.
So
And then I'm gonna yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to be stealthy, roll a stealth check.
Wow, I'm real stealthy.
Oh, way to go.
That's a natural
29.
19, baby. That's 29. You see her check, put some more dirt on himself, and I disappear. Like Rambo.
Oh, I need to.
Oh, that's cocked, I guess. Rolled a 1.
Was that for Quenzel?
Rolled a 3. No, Kunbara.
Oh, okay. So I say if it's for Quenzel, just leave it at a 1. Be fine. But if it's Kunbara, I had 30,000.
You got a 14.
Quenzel actually did roll a 1.
Oh, thank
You
God.
can look over here and double check that.
I trust him.
And you feel this sort of like as tight as it can be grip on your forearm, this feathery grip, Varkir, and he goes, "We shouldn't go here.
Can I?
I'm getting
like,
some
a-
bad feelings, guys."
I jump on Quenzel. I am choking
Roll a
him.
dexterity check.
I feel like we
17.
rolled so high though.
He
I'm
rolled
gonna
a
bite
1.
him
Didn't it make up for
instinctually.
So he
him?
goes, "I'm getting a."
And I bite
No,
him.
no, it's not over his mouth. I'm choking him.
Okay.
I'm really. Shut up.
I'm biting him. His arm.
You can just see his wide eyes darting back and forth between both of you, both realizing the threat as well as the current situation, and you see, okay, you see him just sort of like his even his throat relaxes a little bit in your grip, and he just sort of looks at you guys and he nods his head up and down, just like okay,
I'm
okay.
slowly releasing him. Oh, Quenzel, this is the last warning.
What are you gonna do with the last
You're
one?
gonna die if you do this again.
I did not say
It's okay, Varkir will take care of me.
I brushed where he touched off. Like,
You taste bad, but I'll still eat you. I'm just kidding.
He's
Okay,
not.
roll an intimidation check. Okay. As you guys are pressing forward, you can sort of your footsteps become muted, and you can see the dust behind you as you're walking. Almost like this invisible swirl of wind sets everything back in place as you're progressing forward.
I'm still first, and Tim's right next to me. And then
Yeah, Tim, is your wait? Sorry, how long does enlarge last? Did
No,
you
I'm
tell
not
me?
enlarged. It only lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, are you looking through the in between Herchek's legs, or are you looking outside of Herchek's legs?
Outside. I'm like,
Okay.
hugging his torso almost.
Okay.
As close as I can be without like having him trip up on me.
Okay. You guys are getting closer and closer to these figures revealing themselves, and you can almost you punched it though. You punched it real good.
here we go.
Gross.
Let's continue.
You're getting closer and closer to these frozen figures, and you start to see some of them are hanging in the air, a few feet off the ground.
Suspended?
Investigate. Suspended, yes, but suspended. Oh, yeah. Roll a perception check again. As successful as those have been.
2.
This is creepy, man. They're just floating here. For everyone else who
That's what
didn't
it
actually
sound like.
roll a perception check, you can see that these are various different races impaled on spikes. There are wooden, metallic, sort of improv spiked objects that these people have been placed on. And you guys progress forward.
Are they naked?
Forward.
Can I kneel down and do an investigation check on one of those spikes to see if it came from the ground?
Sure.
Are they naked?
Roll an investigation check
Are they hot?
or perception. Are they hot?
Yeah.
11.
What'd you roll?
22.
Hot dead people?
The spikes are they have been purposely placed here. Like
Oh.
someone has thrust them into the ground as well as the bodies on them.
Okay.
With an 11, they are. Some of them actually have had their clothes taken from them. Others are still pretty adorned with what they were wearing previously. All of them are dead. You can see them as you get closer and closer. You guys are now maybe about. You guys are at the perimeter of where these bodies start, and now you're walking in between each one.
Check for traps.
Go ahead and check.
I'm gonna roll at disadvantage
Okay.
because I don't have dark vision. I don't need to roll again.
As you guys are sort of bewildered by this scene, Herchek is just like on the ground, like scraping his nose on the wood, just like looking up and down each one,
Tasting some dirt.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm
like
gonna get down with them.
lifting up some of the deceased legs and like salmoning them to figure out if there's a trap in there or not.
Interesting way to investigate bodies.
And you find nothing. They're perfectly clear.
Traps in between this guy's legs. And if you know what I'm saying.
Everybody else notices that it's actually a woman.
How dare you identify that
You
person?
rolled a 1.
How dare you put an identity on that person?
So yeah, you guys are now sort of walking in between these corpses, and it's a pretty thick field. There are tens of these bodies, not hundreds, but about 10 collected in a perimeter around this wooden wall in front of them. Are you guys doing anything? You can see that there is an image on the wall, and that there's something off about these people. Something different. Like you see a dragonborn with some... It almost seems like he's been colored differently than natural. And again, you can sort of see vague shapes on the wall in front of them. And one thing that you can point out is that in these sort of shapes depicted on the wall, there are different eyes exuding the same sort of similar blue light, as it's illuminating the area ever so slightly.
Eyes is in like eyeballs.
Not eyeballs. They're
Like cave paintings?
yeah, still similar to cave paintings, but the eyes on this cave painting are illuminating the area in the same sort of pale blue light as the Reaper giant, spotlight Reaper giant.
I'm gonna squint, peer into the eyes of whichever closest body we're passing. Do I notice anything weird? Here,
Roll a perception or investigation, whichever one.
15.
You do notice that it is similar to paint, but it's not a material that you're very familiar with. These blue eyes are, as you look at each one, they're now focused on your group.
The eyes are moving.
You didn't notice them move. You just noticed that now it's like the Mona Lisa, where everyone that you look at, it's like it's staring directly at you.
You're talking about the eyes on the wall, not the eyes on the
Correct.
people's
yes.
eyes?
Yeah. And on the wall with the 15, you can see that it's this almost formless yet many forms combined depiction of like many different hands going in one direction, coming out of a black tendril. And you can see that all these tendrils are focused around this central eye, and in the tendrils are many different other black eyes now, and blue eyes. And it is still a painting. It's still sort of material, but you notice, like hands, legs, eyes, ears. It's almost just like this conglomeration of multiple different body parts just exploding and snaking outward from this depiction. And it's the primary color is black, and the primary color of the eyes is pale blue.
Whoa. I've never seen a cave painting like it. It makes me uncomfortable. And not very many things make me uncomfortable. I say we get the fuck out of here. Where we go?
Thunky, you notice that these figures are... your passive perception is 17?
Yes.
Yeah, you notice that these figures have mostly clean cuts of limbs missing. Not all of them. Each one has about one limb missing. And as you take a closer look, their hair is almost like filled with this red gunk. All of them, their hair is filled with this red gunk. All of them have this light blue coating over them, and most all of them are pinned in biggity booms. They're pinned in forms of like prostration, of like pray and begging and praise.
Can I do like a... Would this be like a religion check or like a history check?
I would do a straight investigation check, and I'll let you know what that means.
You said investigation?
Yeah.
12.
Some of these figures remind you of the wall that you had seen previously, with the black severed and the blue and red-haired other forms. It almost seems like this is a purposeful scene set up by the deranged minds of the giants that you've encountered. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
So is there a path in front of us?
No, there's no path.
The path ends at the wall.
The path ends at the wall, which is depicting this sort of tentacled, multiple-limbed creature, and it arcs outward around, outward from you, and you can still hear the breathing on either side.
How high is this wall?
You cannot see the top of it.
Should we move forward?
Well, I mean,
We
I
can.
guess
Can move
we
forward?
gotta pick a side, I guess.
All right.
Left or right. Flip a coin. We never get this chance. Here.
Take out a gold coin.
Heads is
platinum
right.
coin. We
Tails
take out a
is
platinum
left.
coin. We all have 600 platinum.
We go left.
And you can see Quenzel sort of like
Yeah?
a little bit behind you guys, rummaging through the pockets of some, like going through some, like taking something, putting it in his pocket, and he just like looks at you guys as you're sort of like analyzing this whole thing, and he goes, "What? They're not gonna need it anymore."
I'm gonna wink at him and do the same.
I was paying no attention.
Do the rummage through pockets?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Hmm.
21.
Okay. You find one potion of greater healing, one potion of normal healing. You find a collected 79 gold. You find a couple of personal objects, like some pretty interesting wristbands and jewelry. I'll say you find about 150 gold's worth of sort of random jewelry. And on this one particularly adorned individual, he looks like he could have been a cleric when he was alive. You find a journal in one hand, partly opened, and you find, like, in between his dying fingertips, what looks to be like a quill that's about to fall out.
I'm gonna hand the journal to Varkir. you might be able to make some use of this. Maybe there are some cool. What? Yeah, take those.
The oil?
The quill.
I guess
Oh,
I'll
the quill.
read the journal.
The page that it is open to,
Oh, hail, Duergar!
you
Better.
you can see it's actually written in blood. This person, it was a half elf individual. You can see almost like a wound opened up in their forearm, and you can see sort of like as though they were divots in their forearm, like they were using it to write down as quickly as they could. And you see, or you read, "You must finish what we started. Hegarax, the patient corruption has broken into the material realm. If you're reading this, when its full form reveals itself, these words shall act as its antithesis. Auin, Felorexi Hegarax Conyanentus. You must succeed where we have failed." And there's multiple different pieces that you get from this journal. How thoroughly are you reading it?
Just like reading that page, then like flipping through the next like maybe 5 pages and just seeing if there's anything interesting more. Then I'll keep flipping. But if I don't find anything in the next 5 pages, I'm just gonna be like, all right, put it in my pocket.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Are there any drawings of dicks in this journal? Natural.
Whoa. Okay, so
All the secrets.
Fieldfield map?
Ilfel map. The key to Ilfel? You know where Ilfel is?
Yeah.
this person, this cleric, belonged to a group called the Hidden Pact, responsible for sort of containing incursions of demon malevolence. Essentially, they are protecting the prime material plane from the sort of circles of hell, pretty much, and they are responsible as the sort of the first contact when these demons make it onto this plane. This group in particular, this cleric from the Hidden Pact has been hunting this demon for months, and this specific sect belonged to Felnor, the city of sleep that is about a day's journey from Bresh. You heard that it seems like they suspect that there are sort of subdemons at work here in this tree. One that you make out is Naunecus the Putrid. Nauneckus, the Putrid. This particular tier, or these particular tiers of demons, master infiltration of the mind first, and then once they've fully taken over their host and their host's circle of individuals, they will start to manifest physically throughout the land, or throughout the particular region. And is there anything else?
Date of birth, blood type.
Yeah,
Social number.
Hegarax specifically first feeds on thoughts. This process takes a long time. Then the individual's intentions. Then its circle of the closest friends. Then the physical world around it. And they were getting very close. They believe the leader, the one with the many-limbed mask, is responsible for leading their people down this path. And they think that it's sort of at this point you start to recognize more familiarity in the writing of, like, they are working towards a ritual to effectively break into a certain place. It seems there's no real mention of Ildfell here. It's mainly just like the battle between demons and sort of like the radiant realm. Wow, natural 20. Okay.
Just for
Barker will put that in his pocket and just say, he'll keep quiet about it for now. Actually, we don't need to know that.
Varkir,
Right
what
now.
was in that journal, man?
Nothing that involves us right now.
Okay.
But later, maybe.
I'd like to do an inside check. I
Uh,
wouldn't do an inside check, but just trust him.
okay.
Inside around.
Yeah, you all see Varkir sort of open up a journal, flip through one page, flip through another page. Flip through, at like the 5-minute mark, you realize that Varkir is not going to take off his eyes from this. You can see them just darting quickly back and forth, but like no real emotion registering on his face. And Kunbara goes, "We must continue forward. What have you decided?"
Left.
Nosha is ahead.
Left?
yeah.
Left. I am first.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold an attack. Actually, I'm gonna hold rage.
How can you hold rage?
I mean, I think technically you can hold anything.
If the
in your
Hulk can
arsenal.
hold rage, I can hold rage.
So
All
you're
right.
holding rage for just any act of aggression?
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically walking past this thing in the center, this painting.
Okay. Yeah, and Varkir, as you start to walk away, you can hear these sort of like, and Thunky as well, only there's an absence of the pleading voice that you heard. Just these almost like antagonizing whispers as you're walking away, like a "fine, be that way," like
I'm gonna pick up the
Understand what
pace
he's
a bit.
saying?
no, you don't.
Oh, no language.
Okay,
Quickly.
you guys are coursing along the left side.
Yeah, I got my eyes on the painting.
Okay, after about 100 or so feet, the painting does not react at all. The scene this scene of sadness as you're leaving these corpses behind just disappears into the darkness once more. Shortly after you leave, because you don't have dark vision. But about 100 or so feet arcing along this wall, it opens up to the right, and you encounter giant-sized stairs arcing around and up back towards the center of the chamber. Each stair is maybe like 5 feet high and 5 feet in.
5 feet high.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
do it?
Go.
Yeah.
I'm
Do we
gonna
hear where
turn
this
in.
breathing has come from?
Do we have a choice? though?
You can feel it almost billowing and almost moving the matter down these staircases.
Okay. I would like to turn into an animal. Into a goat.
Into a
A
goat.
mountain goat.
Oh,
Large
okay.
mountain goat.
apropos. Okay.
And then, can I also cast, where is it? Why can't I find it? I think it's spider. Yeah, can I cast spider climb on myself as a goat?
You may. I would say if this is just to climb the stairs, you would be fine as a goat without spider climb. But if you want to cast spider climb,
Let me see how long
if
it
there's
lasts.
any sort of other reason.
Can you cast spells while transformed?
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
I think that's later.
Damn. I'll just go as a goat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna motion to Tim, like,
I know what to do. I start shimmying my way up there.
Okay.
On top
Jurg starts to cast sort of like he grabs the staircase and he starts to just like you can see the wood almost branch out and break out to connect on like a slide. So he's forming this ramp up the stairs.
Wow. We go all the way up?
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't. So, are you guys all following? And Quenzel's just like, suckers! And he's flying up.
I grab his leg before he takes off all the way.
I wish I could carry you, Varkir, but you...
I hold him down and just walk up the stairs with him.
Wow.
You're not going anywhere. You're staying right here.
Okay. I guess he'll like. Well, I mean, this means you can keep me safe. So he goes with you.
You're just not gonna.
They're
go
like
ahead and
sometimes
mess
where he
anything
tries to
up.
perch on your shoulder, and he is like a normal sized being. So yeah, you just swat him away. Okay, so you guys are progressing up these stairs. Are you all ascending?
Yeah.
All right,
I'm going back to Orenbelle.
No,
Bye.
bye. 5 feet, too much.
Stairs now.
They arc towards the center one more time, and as you meet the top of this portion of stairs, it connects with the other side, and you can hear this again billowing of breathing, this powerful breathing. The closer you get, the more you can feel it shaking your bodies, and the stairs break apart again and arc around in opposite directions one more time. Arcing up, just continuing along the spiral. Thunky, you see in front of you almost this like collection of snake skulls. Just sort of like on top of each other, and then the carvings of snakes in the walls again. About 15 feet in front of you.
Can I pick up the pace and try to go as quickly as possible?
Yes. So are you passing him the snakes?
I'm passing them real fast.
Okay. Are you telling anybody else?
Well, I'm a goat.
Oh, that is true. Okay.
I'll give out like a panic, like "Mah, ah," and like motion towards the snakes, and then like.
Okay. You guys hear this. What do you do? You see Thunky in goat form turn around with Tim on top of her. Just go ma ma ma, and then you see her just dart off.
I still recall the snake biting my face. It was a bad time for me. So Firebolt is prepared. I'm holding it.
Tim, get my back. And I'm gonna walk over to it.
To the snake?
Isn't this just like the rat skull pile
We'll find out.
and the bird
And the
pile of
bear?
skulls?
No, we'll find out.
As you
Pile.
sort of walk
I'm
up
out.
the sort of ease of access handicap stairs that Yerg has made towards the skull, Thunky just darts past and roll a dexterity saving throw, Thunky. Roll a dexterity saving throw, her check.
At advantage?
Yeah,
And
you know what
I'm-
this is.
Of course.
Okay.
10, 2 times.
Please, 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 please. 20!
After 20, you see as Thunky just darts past you, you see snakes almost explode out of the wall. About 5 snakes just spitting acid in her direction, and you see her move her legs, just jolt to the side, like dart past in one direction, and just juke them and go up as these snakes are just like interweaving across her in her path, trying to catch up with her, and she's just gadump
Like,
up the stairs, and they just like after about 10 feet distance, Thunky gets away. They just sort of like settle down and sort of just like go down the stairs. One is coming towards you. You rolled an 11. Yeah. It just jumps at you.
A
you
firebolt.
Are you on my back?
Yeah.
He was.
roll an attack. There.
Wait, my lucky dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
23 total.
Not really even worth rolling damage, as this snake is jumping at you. Her check, and flame bursts across this snake, incinerating it, and flames just shoot an arc around you as lights up the chamber in front of you, actually revealing for the first time some useful light that you could use to discern your surroundings.
I
So
hate,
What do I
I
say?
hate snakes, vile beasts, mean streaks a mile wide with big, big fangs.
Quite big bushy beard.
Great, big, bushy beard.
Is the snake still on the ground?
The
Just
snake is
charred.
destroyed. The other snakes have sort of just like
Can I pick
skittered
up the
away.
charred snake and can I eat it?
Yeah, sure. It's like the skin is flaking off. Yeah.
Delicious.
Okay.
What do I see on the wall?
It's similar
second?
to the rest of the chamber, just like sinuous roots with some black ichorous goo interwoven in between them.
Cool. All right. Well, we found out what that did, so let's not do it again. Looks like the goat had good instincts. And we're continuing up the stairs.
Okay, you guys make it to the second level. Thunky, roll another perception check.
Let's see. As a goat. A 3.
Same thing, just stairs combined together and arc outward back up to another level.
Can I do it? Can I check?
He's technically looking around the room.
It's because her passive perception is so high. What's your passive perception?
12.
Yeah.
Well, actually, as a goat, my passive perception is 11.
Well, never mind. You guys.
I mean, I rolled low anyways,
Yeah.
so.
You guys are sticking together, arcing up these staircases, and this breathing is now. You can see the dust and small pebbles and tiny wood shards just like vibrating on the stairs in front of you, as you can almost feel every breath being pushed out, like you're being breathed upon on this next set of stairs.
I
Wow.
would like to lower my head and, like, be ready to ram something.
Okay, ready to ram. You already used your firebolts. Ready to
Well,
rage.
I'd like to hold another firebolt though.
Okay.
Wait, can I only hold one?
No, you can't. I was just saying you had expelled or expended your held action.
Oh,
You holding
Yeah, I know, I'm
anything
holding
there,
again.
Bark here?
Hold out on me, brother.
I would like to use my stone cunning to find the boss.
Yeah, where's the boss on this map?
Can I do a boss check?
Okay.
Locate boss.
As you guys are nearing the top of this next set of staircases, you can again just feel the it almost feels like it's aggressively being blown at you step by step. Now you can start to see the wind pick up in Tim's mane as it starts to just sort of flow away from him, and the fabric on whatever armor material you're starting to wear is ricketing a little bit and billowing out from you. As the more you step forward, the more this force is pressing upon you, and you can see a faint bit of brazier light lighting the height of these stairs. So you guys are getting closer and closer. Are you doing anything? Just continue to approach.
Waiting to roll initiative.
Initiative on deck. You guys get to the apex of these stairs, and there is an opening at the top leading inwards. And as you round the corner, you almost have to stabilize yourself as this force is being pushed outward upon you, and you get this sickening, almost wrenching feeling inside of you. It's almost like the closer you get, the more corruption.
Yeah,
guys hear that?
It's been almost consistent, constant.
Okay.
The house is just falling apart.
You round the corner, and as you turn in to face this new chamber, you hear billow past all of you as you are looking into this circular wooden chamber with a huge collection of rune shards in the center, some of them actually looking metal, some of them looking bone. You can see animal skulls lining the outside of this chamber, and raising your sight above the central portion of spikes, you see these waving limbs, these humanoid hands and feet and eyes looking outward as you look into the eyes of a severed giant wearing this mask of waving limbs staring directly at you.
Okay. I think Mark here is the only
Upon
one that's
seeing
been still
this-
stealthy.
I would like to do like one of those halt like that, and then basically tumble forwards into basically out of goat form. Scared me so bad that I transformed back into something.
So yeah, Tim, you see as soon as Thunky rears the corner, this billowing sort of breath in your direction happens. She stumbles backwards, her feet turn backwards, and then you feel a force lurching forward, and you just fall on top of the dwarven form of Thunky once more, as she is dazed in this situation. And I would like you all to roll initiative next time on Assassins and Dragons. Thank you for joining us, Assassins. Find out what they are up against exactly in the next episode of Assassins and Dragons. As always, until fate next brings us together, and never stop playing role-playing games.
夜明け生まれ来るものよ決して